Welcome back. Today we're talking about advanced exercises for the shoulder blade muscles. This will help to reduce pain in the shoulder, neck, and upper back, and help to improve your posture. I'm Dr. Jana Ott from Tolt Travel Therapy. I have my partner Thor with me today to demonstrate some of the exercises. We're going to be starting with a mobility exercise to see how your shoulder blades are moving and improve their full ability to move through their range of motion. So Thor's going to stand against a wall here. He's bringing his arms up like a cactus or goalposts. Now he's going to be allowing his shoulder blades to move throughout this motion, and he's making like a snow angel like you would on the ground. So he's slowly moving his arms up and down, trying to keep his forearm against the wall behind him as he moves. The other thing to consider as you do this motion is not letting your ribs flare out and your low back arch. So activate your core muscles, pull those ribs in, and it gets a bit tighter, right? So sometimes we compensate by using our spine to help with the motion, but with this one we want to isolate it to the shoulders and the shoulder blades. How's that feeling, Thor?
Good.
Yeah, what do you notice?
It's challenging to keep my back against the wall and just use my shoulder blades.
Yeah. Do you feel like you can move through your full range as you go up and down? Can you feel the shoulder blades moving on the rib cage?
Yes, definitely.
Excellent. Now, shoulder blades don't just move up and down, but they also rotate. So feel that as you're working through this mobility exercise. You'll have upward rotation and elevation as you raise your arms up. Good job, Thor. And relax. Excellent. Our next more advanced strengthening exercise, we're going to add some resistance. Face towards me, Thor. This is a rowing exercise. You can do this two different ways, but to start, we can use a resistance band. I'll be his anchor, but you can also put these into a doorway or around a sturdy surface. So Thor's going to be using the shoulder blade squeeze that we've talked a little bit about in previous videos, so review that if you need to. He's going to initiate this movement by squeezing the shoulder blades and then pulling the elbows back behind him. He's keeping the forearms parallel with the ground. You can let your arms come forward as you move through the full range of motion. Excellent. So now we're adding some resistance to further challenge the shoulder blade muscles. Just remember, these are small, stabilizing muscles. And so we don't need a lot of resistance. It's more about lots of repetitions. They say it takes 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert at something. So just getting in lots of repetitions of tightening your shoulder blades and relaxing them is really going to help solidify the connection between your nervous system and your brain and those muscles. Great. How's that feel?
Great.
Excellent. The next variation you can do on a row is using a free weight. So, Thor, use a free weight. This is going to be a bent over row. So you can use something like a countertop or a table to rest one arm on, or you can use your thigh to support. But you're going to hinge at your hip and bend slightly over. Let's have you do this arm for this demonstration. Now, just like before, he's starting the movement by tightening his shoulder blade up and back first, and then the elbow leads the way, imagining you have a string pulling your elbow up towards the ceiling. But each time, he's resetting his shoulder blade first and then rowing with the weight. How's that feeling, Thor?
Good.
This is definitely a more challenging position. You need to use your core to help support your spine, and you're working obviously with a heavier weight when you get to this level of exercise. One more. Now we're going to be talking about more dynamic movements for our shoulder blades. We really don't use them just in a static position where you tighten the muscles and hold. Because we're moving our arms all throughout the day with what we're doing, your shoulder blade's always adjusting its position and re-engaging the muscles as you move. So we're gonna add some more unpredictable input and feedback for those muscles so that they get used to changing quickly. For the next exercise, Thor, you're gonna place both hands in this band so they're around your wrist and face the wall. Arms will be against the wall at shoulder height. This motion will initiate again by tightening the shoulder blades first, and then you're gonna be moving this hand up and out diagonally, back to the center, straight out to the side, back to the center, and down and diagonal, back to the center. Because this band is creating a different amount of resistance as it gets further and closer in, Thor's shoulder blade muscles are having to constantly change how tight they are and how they're supporting the shoulder. Good. Another fun way to challenge your shoulder blade muscles for dynamic stability is to use a band that's either someone's holding or it's anchored to another point. And Thor, you're gonna hold the other end. I'm gonna be holding this anchor point still. You're gonna be moving your arm in all different directions, trying to keep your shoulder blade muscles stable as you do it. Move faster, Thor. We're moving really fast with this because this is more how we use our shoulder blade muscles in real life. We're always having to adjust, change the intensity of activation and position of activation as we move our arms. Good. Now you're gonna hold your arm at 90 degrees here and don't let me move you. I'm gonna move around. And he's trying to stay really stable as this unpredictable input comes through the band. Nice work. All right, relax. Our next exercise, again, helps with that dynamic stability. You're gonna use a pretty heavy weight for this one. Thor, go ahead and grab on. You're gonna raise the weight up over your head, tightening your shoulder blade for stability, tightening your core, and now you're gonna walk across the room. Good. Because he has a long lever arm with that heavy weight at the top, it's little bits of movement force the shoulder blade muscles to make big changes in stability. Good, and rest. Great form. All right, let's make things really challenging. If you have access to something like a Bosu ball, which has unstable surface when you place the blue side down, you can do things like planks and push-ups on an uneven surface. So Thor, let's have you come down into a plank position. Both hands will be on the Bosu. You can do this from your knees or from your feet. And then he can be actively tilting the Bosu side to side. Good. Forward and back. Can try to make circles. Nice. Now hold it steady in the middle and don't let me move you. Good. And our biggest challenge now, try a push-up on this Bosu. Nice, Thor. This is the really dynamic challenge for our shoulder blade and arms. Good. Rest. Thanks for joining us for some advanced shoulder blade muscle strength. Try these exercises and comment below with how it went for you. Like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.